In front of you are a number of ditches. Small, some of them deep, some of them barely noticeable. But they all stand in front of you. And these are the final resting place of soldiers who fought here on May 3rd, 1863. Now, the battle was won in the clearing. It was won by the artillery. But the battle was fought in these woods. And this had a combat, the ferocity of which American soldiers have never seen before, and many would never see again. 18,000 men fell on the morning of May 3rd in just 5 hours. 18,000 in 5 hours amounts to a person every second falling in these woods, which is astounding. This became the bloodiest single morning in all of American history and the darkest Sunday in our entire past. The battle went beyond this spot. The Confederates eventually reunited their forces, and they pushed out of these woods. They pushed on to Fairview and on to Chancellorsville and on to the Rappahannock River and to Lee's greatest victory. But the losses were extreme, and they were also sublime. Hospitals filled the clearings and clustered near the streams of Chancellorsville, and perhaps the stream behind you would have served one of them. And this was a horrible, nightmarish experience, for some even worse than combat. One of the Tennesseans who served with Archer's brigade in that initial assault that touched off this entire conflagration was a man named Henry Childs. Childs fell wounded in the leg and came to a field hospital near here. And he wrote, "I sat down to rest and I watched the Army surgeons amputating arms and legs. It was frightful to see them grab a boy and lay him down upon a scaffold where he begged for his arm or his leg. And I soon got tired of that barbarity, and I walked away." He treated himself and lived to tell about it. This is also a place where the slain were gathered together and buried in the ground that they literally gave their lives to own. Now, this ground is theirs. And it is all that is left of them. These men in front of you, they died and left no trace of who they were, where they came from, what their names were, and who waited for them at home. All of them sacrificed their lives here. And the only reward they have is an unmarked grave. This was the price that they were willing to pay. But this was also the price they were willing to have their families pay. The only thing that can be known about these men is their fate. They're ended. They entered into these dark woods, and they never saw the light of day again. We don't know if they're Indiana soldiers who were sent through these woods to blunt a Confederate attack. Or perhaps they're Ramseur's men and followed Colonel Brian Grimes up this slope. In the end, it doesn't really matter. Their end was precisely the same. These bodies were exhumed and taken either to the National Cemetery in Fredericksburg or to the Confederate cemeteries in Fredericksburg or Spotsylvania. I don't know which, and I should say that it should make no difference to any of us. But I will caution you in one sense. Anyone who thinks that these graves are empty are wrong. What has been taken from these graves are the bones of the soldiers who fell here. But what of the rest of the man? What of their flesh? What of their blood? What of their hearts? It is here. It is here still. They have become part of the soil itself. These men are here. In fact, the majority of each and every soldier who fell at Chancellorsville is still here. So tread lightly. Because when we speak of these places, these battlefields, and we call them hallowed ground, it is because these men have made this soil with their own life's blood. It is theirs. And we are only visitors here. So remember these men and tread lightly.